Welcome back. I'm Phineas T. Broussard, the 10-term Southern Senator from the great state of down yonder, voluntarily retired. So, I was thinking, of course, that we got to have ourselves another little chit-chat. It's like when my boy Thaddeus, rest his soul, was 17, finally got his own car, took his girl parking up the bunny patch. Weren't the same girl he hitchhiked with him home from the beach. I think that young lady learnt her lesson. Anyway, him and this new girl hanging out up the woods. Y'all remember those days, probably copping fields and whatnot. But they got stuck in mud. They walked home, took my car on a tow rope to pull his out. I learnt about it, all of it, next morning when they come walking up the porch cochere in the pouring rain about 5 a.m., each carrying one end of the bumper from my car. And of course I said, Dad, we got to have ourselves a little chit-chat. But this chit-chat now, this ain't about teens parking or car bumpers. This serious, because we talking about your future, about your kids' future, about America's future. So, I started to mention my great-granddaughter Clementine, just 15, expressing concern that so many folks is uninformed. You know, my happy place always been fewer uninformed. But that no longer the standard, because uninformed one thing, misinformed, that's something else altogether. They know something else entirely, and entirely false. Ironically, because they've been told that whatever they believe, rather whatever the smudge disagree with, is all fake. It's hard to get someone to see the truth when they take such satisfaction from denying it. Just like it's hard to get cowardly supposed leaders to tell you the truth when their jobs depend on lying. Some say that reliving the past and worrying about the future be mutually exclusive. But memories of the past now what causing me worries about the future. Because I was around in the past and I can tell you, things are way better now and for a lot more folks. And to buy into what's been going on of late, you got to be short on facts and long on gullible. Or you just don't care. And you want to follow the smolligasters, those political shysters who crave office and get elected with double distilled lies and the sheer force of the fear they can foment. They just want to tear it down and burn it up, even while they's wrapping themselves in the flag. Some say they wish things had changed. I reckon their wish coming true because things just keep getting worse. Remember my old friend George Shultz, decent publican, combat Marine veteran, held 3 different cabinet posts, respected on both sides of the aisle for decades. George offered one of the most salient political truths ever uttered in public when he said, "The problem with this town is that you can't do a good job if you want the job too much." Now, of course, that's our biggest problem. So many want the job so much that truth and facts, the victims of efforts to disguise reality. Besides credibility, another corner of the realm used to be trust. But now that deceit, the main reason many even open their mouths, there just ain't no corner of the realm. No recognized currency whatsoever. I hope you all stick around, because while I don't care none about being liked, I'm going to like naming those who don't care none about nothing else. I get irritated when folks say they all do it. After 10 terms of U.S. Senate, did I mention that? The only thing I know they all do is they all say things in ways that encourage you to draw the wrong conclusion. And as you know, we all tend to hear what we want. But I tell you real, sure as the sun be up, they don't all try to overthrow America. Now that we established my bona fides, spare me all the cracker jokes. I heard 'em all, including the latest one I get from critics who write to say things like, "Dear Senator Finn, if a couple get divorced down yonder, is they still cousins?" I always thought that it's hard to hate someone after you laugh with them, so I usually reply something like, "Yes, sir, they still cousins, less than they be siblings." See, I think of laughing together as a tender link, like a common point of view or values that kind of tie us all together. I put a lot of stock in the tender links because they're important, but they really is tender. Because sometimes people just stop laughing. So we talk more about tender links too, especially how they tend to require truth and facts. You know, I bill myself as a 10-term Southern senator because of truth. But don't you just love that alliteration? I used to think about going for 11th term, but it just don't sound as good. And the truth is, being a senator just don't a fulfilling life make. Even though, and think about this, you get a title. That's right, you no longer just Bob or Sally. You senator. Title alone like a protective cloak that others got to respect. Even though, like with trust, you got to earn respect, and like I said, few in public life these days seem to be earning nothing. It all reminds me of my good friend Rod Serling. Remember Rod? Creator of the Twilight Zone. Most know Rod is a smart man, but I bet many often missed the salient points he was making. At least one episode he wrote some 60 so year ago, probably more pertinent today than ever. He called it the monsters of Maple Street. Maybe you know it. Normal little neighborhood, strange things start happening with the lights. Residents get paranoid and suspicious one another. Violence break out. Pretty soon it's neighbor against neighbor. Then up on a nearby hilltop you see an alien ship. And the aliens talking about how easy it'd be to turn humans against one another. So they can take over the whole world one neighborhood at a time without really lifting a finger. I always love hearing Rod's closing narration in that low, serious baritone. I even encouraged him to run for office, though I weren't certain he could master a southern accent to enhance his credibility the way I once done. Anyway, there at the end of the Monsters of Maple Street, Rod said, "The tools of conquest ain't necessarily bombs with explosions. Some weapons is just thoughts, attitudes, and prejudices found only in the minds of men. For the record," he added, "those motions can kill, and the frightening search for scapegoats got a fallout all its own, even for the children and the children yet unborn. And the pity is, you can't confine these things to the Twilight Zone." Yes, sir, I always thought my friend Rod worth listening to. And any lesson that get truer and truer over time, especially about human beings, worth remembering. That don't sound like no never much right now, but all tie into the importance of truth and facts, so we come back to that or all of that sometime soon. For now, I'll just say it's a bit disencouraging. Hold on, let me just check the time. I got to get Rufus outside. Yeah, I got to get Rufus outside before he soils something. I swear that old hound got less control than any old man I know. But we still got a lot to gnaw on. Everything from racism and God and the founding fathers to cowardly leaders, traitors, and, of course, the truth and the facts. And the smudge. Again, all through the eyes of vast experience. My good friends Mark Twain and Bill Shakespeare and old Marcus Aurelius all be weighing in occasionally too. And many others. My buddy Rod Serling might even be back. Meant to tell you, I still ain't figured that button Clementine talking about you clicking, but I still don't care about being liked. In fact, you don't like me, you gotta get in line. But understand, I know one fella says he's been in that line going on 2 years now, and he still can't see the front. Which probably why I may be worth listening to. 'Cause I don't care and I ain't here to make money. In fact, I here to do what may be the impossible, to help grow some synapses, maybe yours. So, you want your coffee to taste better, or of course your whiskey? Then I'll see you soon, 'cause I'm pretty sure that chatting with old Finn here will help. Thanks for coming by. Remember, long as you're here, you might as well help. And don't forget to listen well, learn a lot, be nice to everyone, and have a lot of fun. And as always, just call me Finn.